Well, good morning, everybody. It's another morning. This anchorage here is a little rocky when the barges go by, but too bad. It's kind of, you get used to it, it kind of rocks you to sleep. The plan today is to work on the boat, see if we can get that rear gudgeon remounted and watertight, and maybe we'll be able to slide the rudder down into the pintles down into the gudgeon, because the rubber bushing, hard rubber bushings are gone. So even though if the pintle's bent a little bit, it should still be able to go in there, as long as we can get that bottom one secured to the bottom of the boat, back transom of the boat, and kind of hammer it, and then the top one we can hammer down. We should be able to then use a bunch of seizing wire. This time we'll do it on both of them, and that should hold it in for now. The cable for the rudders broke completely, so that's not even an option. So we made a 2x4 tiller that we're going to be able to use by hand, and that's the plan until we can at least get to Green Turtle Bay, hopefully, and then we'll be able to get some better repairs, order in some new gudgeons and maybe new pintles for the rudder. I'll be able to do some fiberglass work on the rudder where it has the nicks, and yeah, just get to somewhere where there's people and we can get in supplies. So that's the plan. So I'll come back in a few hours and I'll show you what we're doing. Alright, so we've come up with our emergency tiller. I was able to float the boat, and I got the rear gudgeon in with new bolts. And we 3M 4200 it, or 3M 4000. I don't want to use 5200. I do have 5200, but I want to get new rudder mounts before I use that. Yeah, so I'm trying to bang this down. As you can see, it's not flat, and it's up high enough that then I think the bottom pintle won't go in. So I'm gonna bang on that for a while, get that flat, and then we'll try the rudder again. If not, somebody was telling me in the sailing group that I could use the outboard as a tiller, turn it on and use that. So that is an option as well. So the cable there is broke, so we won't be able to fix that. I don't know if I can find a spare, because Single, the pedestals, they don't make anymore. If anybody in the YouTube land could find me one, I would love you forever. Key off in the ignition when we were trying to grab the rudder so we didn't lose it. But I think I can shove this in there and it'll turn it. So that is what we're gonna use. So that's good. Now all we gotta do is put our plan into action, and then we'll figure this out and see if it works. We have a friend here in Cape Girardeau that I was supposed to meet on shore, but I don't know if that's gonna happen at all. So we'll kind of just wait and see what goes on here, because there's nowhere to dock and get to shore. Well, that was kind of fun. From on the Facebook group, the Loopers, they knew I was anchored here and they're going by, and somebody drove by and threw me a bag of popcorn. So that was kind of cool. Gotta love it. Loopers looking out for loopers. So we're just kind of chilling. I gotta wait for that 3M to dry. I kind of cleaned right through everything everywhere. There was our tow line. Yeah, we're just chilling here. And then once it dries, I'll tighten up the nuts a little more. Ooh, excuse me. And ooh, my body's not used to popcorn. It's giving me hiccups or burps.
I'm rating 16 right now.
Yeah, so that's the other loopers. They went down to the diversion channel. I'm right underneath the bridge here. So yeah, just chilling. So that was pretty cool. I've never had anybody throw me a bag of popcorn before, and that really made my day. So thank you to Motor Vessel Avalon. I appreciate it, and your captain. So I'll come back in a few hours once we let that 3M dry, and we'll try putting the rudder back on. Alright everybody, we're making some vegetable beef soup for dinner. Still waiting for our 3M 4200 to cure. I don't want to move from the stove here, otherwise I'd show you the bolts back there. But when you're doing this, you got to be real careful and be right with it. So I think we're going to figure this out, and we will be able to push on tomorrow morning at least. I'm thinking that's the plan. We will see how this comes out. I'll come back after I'm done eating, and then show you underneath here and the bolts, what they look like. And then we will try putting the rudder back on. Thought I'd get you guys a good shot of the Cape Girardeau Bridge here at our anchorage, just south of it. So that was a good night. I used some thickened epoxy on the back of the rudder where those nicks were. So we're going to let that dry overnight. We'll let the 3M dry overnight. In the morning we should be able to put on the rudder, and we'll give her a try and see how that works. We have a nice sunset, and hopefully we'll be able to fix this and get on up over to Kentucky Lake.